My name is Jewlea, and I'm a survivor of human sex trafficking and domestic violence. So I met this guy on Instagram. He was a musician. He came to Dallas one day and he was like, hey, let's link up. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down. So we linked up and he was like doing this music stuff. He called his manager, kind of showing off to me like, you know, I'm doing this, I'm pretty big, I go to shows and all this stuff. And so I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And he was like, I need somebody to help me work on my stuff. And I was like, okay, I write music and I like to sing. And I was like, I know a little bit about music, I'll help you. So a couple weeks later, he was like, let's go to Houston. And I was like, wow, that's kind of a big move going from Dallas to Houston. And we moved to Houston, I got my stuff, and well, while we were there, a couple weeks went by, everything was normal, about 2 weeks had went by, and he started to do things. It first started with verbal abuse, and he would call me, like, for instance, I was on the highway and I missed an exit. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, stupid bitch? I don't know how to explain how he did what he did, but he was like, I know a way you can make money, blah, 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 blah. You can do this and this. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, it just doesn't seem right, you know? He was like, all you have to do is just go on a date and whatever. Well, so I would go, but I wouldn't go on a date. He would make me go to their house, or he would make me go to a hotel. And I don't know why I let him do that to me. And I think about that every day, and I'm like, I don't know what was wrong with me. He would take all my money from me that I would get. He would take everything from me. I couldn't talk to anybody or tell anybody anything. He had a 9mm gun, and he told me one day, he said, if you say anything, or if you do anything, or if you try to leave, I'll kill you, bitch. And I was like, what the fuck do you do in that situation? And I didn't know where to go for help. I was 5 hours from home. I was scared to tell the police. I was scared to go to anybody. I was scared for my life, for my family's life. The verbal abuse changed to the first time he put his hands on me was we had a disagreement. So if I didn't agree with him about something, he would get really, really mad. So he grabbed my throat and he slammed me against the wall, and he squeezed as hard as he could, and he was looking dead in my eyes. And he was like, you're gonna fucking listen to whatever I say, and if you don't, I'll fucking kill you. And this went on every single day. He would start punching me, leaving me with bruises, and he would send me out, and he would make me go do this stuff, and I would be covered in bruises, scared for my life. I couldn't just tell anybody. That's not just something that you can do when you have two other grown men living in a house that have guns, and then the other guy has a gun himself, and you're scared for your life. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to get out. I really think that God really saved me. So I had went to this one guy in this hotel, and it was an undercover cop. And I really feel like that I was saved from that. I was scared to speak to them about anything. I didn't know everything that was going through my head. I couldn't think straight. It was a very traumatic experience, and everything that I was previously going through, I was scared. I was like, I can't just send him to jail. I was thinking in my head, well, what if he sends them to come after me? What if he sends other people to come after me? I can't just do that, you know? I didn't know what was gonna happen. And so they took me to jail, and I was sitting there, and then I saw him come in. Well, it turns out they took his gun from him. They also beat the crap out of him whenever he got there. He ended up showing up to this hotel looking for me. And so they got him, and I used my credit card to bail myself out that I had. He was like, I love you so much, and I really realize that I care about you and that you're everything to me, and I can't lose you. And you can't do that to a person. Like, pretending to love somebody and me having nothing and not knowing what to do. I fell for that shit, and I had taken pictures of my arms and my legs and my butt and my back from all the bruises that he had given me. One night he got really, really mad about something, and we had gotten in an argument, and I was like, leave me alone. I really... And he grabs my throat and he slams me on the floor, and then he starts beating me with his fists. He gets a knife from the kitchen and he holds it up to my throat. And he was like, I'll fucking kill you right now. I'll end it all right now. And he was like, there's just no words that can describe the kind of trauma that I had went through. This one day, we had gotten kicked out of the apartment, and we were staying with his dad. So he had thrown me up against the window, and it shattered. And I called his sister. I had his sister's number on my phone, and I had managed to get my phone, and I called her. And I was like, BJ is going crazy, please come help me. And she comes over there and she helps me get my stuff, and he's over there acting like, oh, I didn't touch her. And she's like, what happened to the window? And he's like, I don't know. She's like, what happened to the wall? And he would never hit me in the face. He would always just hit me on my body or just choke me. But that time he had punched me in the face, and my nose was swollen. All around here was swollen. And she saw that. So I had finally managed to get out that day, and I don't know where the strength came from inside of me. I don't know how I overcame that. All I know is that something awoke in me, and I can only tell you that it was by God's grace that He gave me the power that I needed to escape that. So whenever I left, I felt nothing else. And I would pray and cry out to God every night. I would cry myself to sleep every single night, just hoping and praying to find a way out. So if it wasn't for his sister coming over there, I wouldn't have been able to get out. I wouldn't have been able to escape that day. Nobody ever saw what I went through my eyes. But what I have to say to other people, don't ever go stay with somebody that you have no idea who they are. Go live with somebody, even if your family isn't there for you. You don't know how a person is going to be. You don't know what kind of situation you're getting yourself into. Don't ever fall for that shit, ever. I'm a very strong person, and I can't really explain to you how I found the strength to overcome that and to get away from that. And I'm one of the few that had that power, but anybody can have that power. Because I know that if I have the power to do that, anybody can. Taking what kind of level of trauma that I went through, I know that anybody can get out of any situation. So I would recommend, if you are in an apartment or if you are living at this person's relative's house and his family knew what was going on, and this is the most fucked up part, is his family knew everything that was going on and they were okay with it. They were okay with all that stuff. And it's crazy how much money can get into people's heads. So if you are, I would say, get help as fast as you can. Go to somebody. If it's a random person on the street, it doesn't matter. If you're in an apartment and that person's abusing you, go to the person next door. Go to a safe place. Get away from them. And stay away for as long as you can. Or forever. Don't ever go back to that. That person is not going to change, and they will fill your head with so much shit, and they will fill your head with so many lies, and none of it is real. None of it is true at all. None of it is true. They'll tell you, I'll change and I'll do this and I'll make you great and I'll make you a model and I'll make you perfect and we're gonna be rich together. No, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. Don't fall for anything like that.